Hey guys, it's Jenna. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a massive book haul for you guys. I am about to show you all of the books that I have acquired in the months of June, July, and August, and the very beginning of September, because we are in early September at this point. Also, you probably can tell the last two videos I posted, I was wearing the same outfit, same hair, everything, because I'm pre-filming today. And who really cares, right? You don't care about my outfit. You care about the books. So let's just get into them. I have over 30 books over here stacked up to show you. So I'm not really gonna get into much of a description. If you have a preference of which book you think I should read out of these, like sooner than the others, let me know. Let me know if you have a favorite coming up in this stack, which one you think I should read first. So let's just get into them, shall we? Let's see how this goes. This is probably my biggest book haul yet. Let's do this. So the first book I have to show you is the book of Speculation by Erica Swyler. Don't know anything about this other than it has to do with books. I've heard a couple good reviews on BookTube. I adore the cover and the spine, so I picked it up. Saw this as a donation at my library, and I just bought it real cheap from the book sale, so we'll get to that eventually. Next up is a book that I'm actually really excited about. It is Roses by Rose Mannering, and Rose is a booktuber actually, and this is the first book in a trilogy called the Tales trilogy, and from what I know about it, it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, so I'm excited for that, and also to support a fellow booktuber. Now, I don't know if the other books in the trilogy follow the Beauty and the Beast storyline or not. I will find out though and let you know. I'm excited to get into that one. Next up, you probably know all about this. This is The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. I have wanted to read this for a long time. I read her other memoir about her childhood called Half Broke Horses years and years ago. I think it was in early college or late high school. I enjoyed that, but I would like to read this before I watch the new movie that has Brie Larson in it. I've heard it's very good, so I'm hoping to get to that relatively soon so I can watch the movie. Next up, we have a book that I've already seen the movie and loved it, so I want to read the book, and it's the movie tie-in edition of The 100-Foot Journey by Richard C. Murray? Maybe? Did not know this was a book, but I loved the movie, so I would be interested in finding out if the book is better than the movie. From what I remember, it's basically like a culinary love story. So it's about these two restaurants in France. So like your traditional like fancy French restaurant versus a like more casual family-owned Indian restaurant. And they're 100 feet away from each other. So I remember it being like really cute, really funny, and all about the food. So I'm interested to seeing if that is as good as the movie or better. The next book is a book that I have been wanting to read for a while, and I fell in love with this cover. So I waited and waited to get it from Book Depository, and it finally got here a few weeks ago. And that is this beautiful edition of Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. And I love it, you guys. The only thing is that the print is very small, but it's got these beautiful French flaps. I think they're called French flaps. I've just heard other people call them that. But yeah, it's kind of a chunker. Print is small, but it's nice and floppy, and it looks beautiful on my shelf, and I've heard amazing things, so I had to jump on that. Next up, another donation from work. I bought it for $1, and that is Britt Marie Was Here by Frederick Bachman. I love A Man Called Uva, as you probably know, and I'm interested in reading more of his books. Uva is the only book that I've read by him so far, so I'm interested in reading this next, and then I probably will read My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry, and then I can't remember what else. I know there's Beartown and some other book, but anyway, this is the one that I would like to read next. Again, don't know anything about it. I do know that it's another story involving an older person, this time an older lady, and I'm just interested in getting to read some more Frederick Bachman because I absolutely love his writing. Next up, I took the plunge on the first book in a YA fantasy trilogy that I've heard some really good things about, and I decided to get The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson because it was on Book Outlet for like $3 or $4. We'll see how I feel about this one. I am definitely interested. I've heard a lot of people on BookTube whose reviews that I trust say really great things about this, and I'm trying to get myself back into fantasy, so we'll see how that one goes. If you've read that one, let me know. Let me know how it is. Okay, I have to shuffle around a little bit because I'm running out of room already. Okay, next book that I have, Katie from Life Between Words will be very excited to see that I have this because I saw this on her channel, then I saw it as a donation at work, and I had to pick it up again for $1, and that is The Child from the Sea by Elizabeth Gouge, or Gouge, I'm not sure how you pronounce her last name. I've heard both pronunciations. But this, again, I don't know that much about it, I can't really remember. But it's about a girl named Lucy who was the secret wife of Prince Charles, and I think this takes place in the 1500s, 1600s. I could be totally wrong about that, but it's a period piece, supposed to be very, very good. It is a chunker. I saw this cover and I fell in love with it, and I just remember Katie from Life Between Words saying amazing things about this, and I think Emma from A Bookish Princess, she really likes this author, so I'm interested in seeing how that goes. Next up, we have The Walled City by Ryan Groudon. I absolutely loved Wolf by Wolf and Blood for Blood. Absolutely loved them, so I'm excited to read more of her work, and I've heard good things about this one, but I've also heard mixed reviews, so we'll see how it goes. I'm just excited to get more of her writing, because if you have not read Wolf by Wolf, please do. Please do. It's vastly underread and underrated on BookTube, so go out and do it. Just get it done because you won't regret it. Next up, we have a book that I've already read and loved, and I don't know why I haven't gotten my own copy until now, but that is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. Absolutely adore this book. Probably in my top, well, I definitely know it's in my top 5 books of all time. Absolutely adore it. If you like Neil Gaiman and if you like middle grade, you have to read this. It's adorable and fun and creepy and just generally amazing. You have to read it. Next up, we have another middle grade story, and I had to pick this one up from the donation pile at work because it was a beautiful cover, and I remember loving the story as a kid, and that is Ruby Holler by Sharon Creech. I don't remember too much other than the fact that it's a brother and sister, and they're new foster parents they're kind of skeptical about, but then they wind up absolutely loving them, and it's just this cute story with I think some magic in there somewhere. I can't really remember, but I just remember loving it, so I figured I would go ahead and snatch it up. Next book I saw on Book Outlet, and I've heard some amazing things about this from Amy over at Amy Reads. It's a young adult contemporary called Mosquitoland by David Arnold. And I like the cover. The spine is colorful, and it just sounds really interesting. I think, like I said, I don't know too much about any of these books, but I'm pretty sure it's about this young girl going on a road trip, or she's running away. I really can't remember, excuse me. Yeah, she moves, I think. I don't remember. I just snagged it up because it was really cheap, and I heard Amy say that she absolutely loved it. So I'm excited to get into that one. I'm usually pretty skeptical about YA contemporaries, but we'll see how that goes. Next up we have Today Will Be Different by Maria Semple. I've actually heard mixed reviews about this, but again, it came in as a donation at my library, and I liked the cover and the spine, so I'm interested in reading more about it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I just like the cover, and it sounds interesting. I believe it's about an adult woman with some anxiety, and she's trying to push herself to go out of her comfort zone. So I figured that might be a good book to break up some heavier books. We'll see. Again, another book that I know zero about, but I've heard great things, that is The Elegance of the Hedgehog. I picked this up at a used bookstore, super cheap, literally super cheap. I think it was only 50 cents. So, and I liked the cover, and I remember hearing good things about this from Max over at Well Done Books. I'm pretty sure he said that he's liked this before, like when he was making videos. So yeah, try that one out. Books everywhere. They're everywhere. Okay, next up is a book that I actually won in a giveaway at BookNet Fest that I went to recently. And I was very sad because there was a sticker on the front of this book, and when I peeled it off, it took off part of the cover. Worst sticker ever. And that is the first part of the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. It's The Way of Kings. So this mass market paperback, which I'm not that much of a fan of, but it was free. It's over 1,200 pages long, and now it's got this wonderful little boo-boo on the front of it. We'll see if I actually read this or not. I would like to read it, but you know how much I hate mass market paperbacks, so I might end up donating this. We'll see. I would actually like to read it, but we'll see. I haven't even read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson yet, and I know you're supposed to read those first, so. Next up, another book that I've already read, that is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I was waiting until this came out in paperback, and then it finally did. I absolutely loved this book when I read it in January of this year. If you haven't read it, please do. If you've heard any hype about it, it's totally worth it. You just need to read it. The next several books are all part of the same series, so I'll go through these pretty quickly. But somebody came in and donated a crap ton of like vampire books. I like vampire books. And a lot of them were the Sookie Stackhouse, Charlene Harris mystery novels. And so I've actually been trying to collect them for years. So I went ahead and picked up some that I did not have already. And they're kind of mismatched, but hey, they were almost free, just a couple bucks. So I already have the first two on my shelf, and that is Dead Until Dark and Living Dead in Dallas. Number 3 is Club Dead. Number 4, oh, this is actually already one that I had, so oh well. This is number 4, Dead to the World. Number 5, I think, or next one is Dead as a Doornail. Then we've got Definitely Dead, Altogether Dead, From Dead to Worse, Dead and Gone, Dead in the Family, and this one does not have a Just Jacket, but it is Dead Ever After. And then one more by Charlene Harris. This is a short story collection still in the Sookie Stackhouse universe, and that is A Touch of Dead. So all of those are by Charlene Harris. There's a bunch of them. I don't know when I'll actually get to them. I've wanted to start to reread that series for a long time now. We'll see when I actually get around to it. I remember absolutely loving the first 4 books, but then I stopped after that, so I'm gonna have to get back into it. The next several books are all part of the same series again. Gradually have collected these over the summer from the book sale that goes on in my library constantly, and that is the Codex Alera series. So I already had the first one, so I actually ended up getting the other 5. So I've got book 2, Academ's Fury. Then we've got books 3 is Cursor's Fury. Book 4 is Captain's Fury. Book 5, beautiful hardback, is Princeps Fury. And the 6th and final one is First Lord's Fury. So I'm excited to have that completed series. So if I actually get into it soon, I can read them all back to back if I want to and not have to wait for the next one. The next book that I got from Book Outlet, and that is Sabriel by Garth Nix. This is the first book in a middle grade YA, I'm pretty sure it's YA fantasy series. It's been around for a while, but I've heard multiple people talk about it recently and have gotten me interested in it. So I'm excited to finally read a Garth Nix book. I've never read one by him yet. Okay, time for some more shuffling. Okay, we're almost there, guys, almost there. Next book, again, got it from Book Outlet because it's in paperback now, and that is A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. I haven't read anything by her yet, but in September, I'm hoping to read A Darker Shade of Magic and then move on to A Gathering of Shadows. So just figured I'd go ahead and get the next book in the series because I have a feeling that I'm just going to love it. Next book that I have, paid $1 for it, again at my library's book sale. I've already read it and loved it, and that is The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. It's just one of those books that I'm going to want to reread in years to come, and it just looks beautiful on the shelf. If you haven't read this, I highly recommend it. Very, very good audiobook also. And then the last book that I have, but certainly not least, it's definitely the most beautiful book that I think I have on my whole shelf, but that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Look at this beauty, you guys. It is just gorgeous. I knew as soon as I saw this particular edition, I had to have it, even if I had to wait forever for it to come from Book Depository. But it was definitely worth the wait. I cannot wait to read this. I don't know when I'm going to read it, because as you know, I've been putting off fantasy, but I'm trying to change that in September. So this was the last book that I picked up. It's a YA fantasy novel, obviously by Laini Taylor, who wrote the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, which I have not read. I haven't read anything by her. I don't know if I'll read that first trilogy before this one, because honestly, I've heard such great things about this that I don't think I want to wait to read it. But I'm very excited about it. I've heard absolutely amazing things about this. I don't think I've heard one negative review yet, so very excited to get to that. So that is it, guys. Congratulations, you made it through the whole video. So give this a thumbs up if you watched the whole video, and or if you enjoyed it. So these are all the books that I picked up in the last few months. Please comment down below and let me know which one you think I should read next, or sooner rather than later. And let's just talk in the comments. So I'll see you guys very, very soon with another bookish video. Bye.